All right, welcome back, guys. So we're going to talk about a trade setup on Dell this week to end the second quarter. It's called an outside day reversal. I'm going to explain to you guys how I ended up putting up about $10,000 on this trade yesterday on Monday, as well as coming into Tuesday as we got a continuation rally on the name. So I'm going to break down the entire idea of what an outside day reversal is and how you can use it in your own personal trading for the active or short-term trading window, which we'll talk about as we go through this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. And let's just kick this thing off. Okay, so yesterday, this is the Dell trade. We'll go to the charts here in a second and explain it step by step. So I ended up pulling down about 5,000 yesterday on the short-term position, cleared this out. I'll walk through it in a second. And then this morning, I added to another position on the continuation. So total about $10,000 in P&L on this. Disregard the NVIDIA trade, but this was a position, and we'll break down, again, what an ODR is and how you guys can use it in your own personal trading. Okay, so let's kick this thing off. Obviously, this is Dell here today. You know, if you look at the price action last week, it was kind of choppy, wasn't really doing too much, trading sideways. You know, last Thursday, the market dropped it pretty heavily. And then yesterday, you got this large continuation move yesterday. And then this morning, into the end of the quarter, you've got continuation into a gap fill and some key levels here as well. So this has been a pretty healthy move on the stock the past 2 days of trading. But I want to break down again the start of this move yesterday, what got me into it yesterday with the position that maybe 5,000, and then again about another $5,000 today. Okay, so let's get to part 2 of the video. This is called an outside day reversal. This is one of about 6 strategies that I've used in my personal arsenal literally since 2010. I talk about it in a course lecture series called Small Account Tactics. It is a very simple, repeatable approach. It works for bullish trades and bearish trades. You don't need indicators. You don't need software. I'm going to break down the outside day reversal bullish here on Dell. Okay, so this chart you're seeing here, I posted yesterday in my stock twits. I'll go to it here in a second. These lines are called prior high a day. Okay, so from Friday's trading range, this is where Dell traded. It was a high of 401. The low was like 385. Okay, so every day the market comes in, I'm looking at previous high and previous low a day. And I've used this concept to be clear for those of you guys new to this video or that found this channel literally since 2010. Okay, I haven't changed this. If there's some old videos on this channel you can look at, it works over and over and over, and it's predicated on 3 things when I take this playbook setup. Number 1 is, what's the catalyst? Number 2, what are the price targets? And number 3, how do I structure or execute on that idea? Okay, the first thing is this. In any price action trading setup, there's different catalysts to get you in. In an outside day reversal, when price fails like this, you see how yesterday's open, the sellers tried to take this lower, okay? And they broke previous low a day, pretty healthy, by the way, down to like 380. But they failed to hold this, right? As soon as you see price start to fail, and then, okay, there's and then here, you get back into the trading range, that is your catalyst, okay? There's 3 things in every trade I look for from a price action perspective. What's the catalyst, okay? Sellers failed to take this lower. They reversed it back into the range. This is what we call bullish ODR, outside day reversal. And by the way, there's a bearish ODR as well. When I find one of these trades and take it, I'll make a video. Okay, so this creates what we call in the playbook and SAT an ODR. So as soon as I saw this yesterday, I go, okay, great. We're going to get an outside day reversal. That's a bullish sign for price action. Sellers weren't able to take it lower. The buyers have obviously stepped in. The selling's over. This is now likely to take off. Okay, so part 2 of any trade I'm looking at is price targets. All right, before this trade developed, and this is really important for a lot of you that are exploring trading or new to trading, you need to have a process. Okay, people say this all the time, and I think people aren't actively listening. If you don't have a process that's repeatable, it's hard to find success in this business, whether you're a long-term investor or a short-term trader, which we're talking about in this particular channel. So before this trade developed, I already knew previous high day acts as a target. Okay, so real simple. Previous high day always acts as a target for me. These are other relevant price levels. 407, 413 are targets. Okay, so as this trade triggers, my thought process isn't then, okay, look, what are my targets? How do I handle this? This is a repeatable process. I've seen this before. It works like this. I already can go into step number 3 and execute on the idea. Okay, this is what we call a trigger. We're waiting, price gets there, I trigger into the position. So coming into yesterday, as we get into this, as this reverses to this level here, I ended up going to pick up, really not a big position, by the way, some short-term options that cost me, this is the cost basis, $595 here. I don't know where I sold these at, maybe a little bit higher, so maybe it was like a $6,000 day. picked up some 420 options for 450, and then some options that are a little bit longer duration, about 15, 16 days out for 885. Okay, this ended up making about $5,000-$6,000 in this position. So this is the execution. So as we got into this trade, I don't have to think about, okay, what strikes do I buy? Do I panic out of this? All of this is premeditated. It's done because it's a repeatable playbook trade that I've used over and over. Okay, so that's number one. That ended up making me that position yesterday. Let's go back and let's talk about the current price action on the stock today. All right, so if you look at the price action today, let's kind of go over and continue the conversation. This now becomes previous high day, 416. This becomes previous low day, right? Obviously, yesterday, you can see this price action last week. It tried here, it failed. It really tried to break it. It took off yesterday, okay? Today, this morning, a little bit of a head fake, and we continued this price action from yesterday's ODR, okay? This move above previous high a day is a bullish continuation. Another trade setups we talk about as well, but coming into today, because I knew, number one, this was probably the reversal, and number two, we broke previous high a day, I then added into this position. The same process happens again, okay? Catalyst, price target, execution. So before getting into this trade, my thought process was, if we clear the previous high a day, that's my trigger, that's the catalyst to get in. Number two, price targets are relatively simple, a gap level and a key technical level. And number three, executing on that position, okay? As far as execution goes, today I came in, I don't know what strikes I did, I messed up the screen grab there. The point is, I had about another $5,000 day and ended up scaling out of this position here on Tuesday's trade, okay? So this is a positive here. I'll explain one last final thing and I'll go to some information for you guys here in the video. This is also, to be clear, the end of the second quarter. So coming into the end of the quarter, you start to see a lot of these stocks that have been sold off, especially the tech names, they get what's called window dressing, okay? The market makers, dealers, whatever you want to call them, they come in and typically push these names higher. So outside of the outside day reversal, outside of the continuation setup, I knew coming into today's trading action, there was a likelihood that we would continue yesterday's move and push higher, which literally exactly what we did off the opening session, and that worked, okay? Here are some of the options, by the way. I want to show this quickly, then I'll give you guys some information on where to learn more, and we'll cap it at that, okay? These are the options here that expire in 2 days. These are the weekly options on Dell. Normally, I don't like to trade a lot of short-term options that are like weekly, but in this situation, because it's end of the quarter, again, that helps me with the execution. These things were trading at $1 yesterday. Literally, they're at $1,200 a contract today. This morning, at the break of previous high a day, which is a trigger, they were $7.85. Okay, so whether you bought this and sold them like I did yesterday, or whether you bought them here and then sold again, it's still a win. Okay, so this was a big positive for a lot of you out there. It was a pretty decent way to end the second quarter. $10,000 is better than a stick in the eye. And if you guys want to learn more about how to do this, number one, you can follow me on StockTwits. I posted this literally yesterday. Just go here on StockTwits. This is my handle. You can follow there. Number two, go over to LongVolReport.com. Okay, we have two different newsletters. One of the newsletters here is strictly for value investing and long-term investing. Okay, all I talk about is fundamentals. I don't talk about price action setups. I don't talk about ODRs or the continuation. This is for those of you that are long-term investors. Okay, if you're a short-term trader, if you're a day trader, if you want to trade in the short-term window of 1 to 30 days, use the LongVol Report LITE. In addition to the letter that goes out, there's also an active trading chat room where I talk about these ideas. Literally yesterday, I flagged this as a potential idea, and a lot of you made money off of this, okay? We just launched LongVol LITE here in January for a lot of the short-term active traders. Go to the website, click that, click this link here. You can read this week's, if you're a subscriber anyway, this week's short-term letter, okay? A lot of this stuff is there for you guys. This is only price action on this channel. It's only price action setups, no fundamentals. We're only trading 1 to 30 days. It's not just day trading, to be clear. It's not for long-term holds. If you guys want information on the setups and the playbook, use the SAT lectures, okay? The SAT lectures are 15 hours. There's a lot of content in there. I'm going to continue to produce content on this channel only talking about price action and setups like this, okay? So that was it on Dell. Hopefully you guys had a good quarter and made money on this. I'll continue to put more videos out talking about price action setups and the playbook setups that I use to trade in the short-term time frame window. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.